Ladies and gentlemen, we're back again for segment 4.
Unpopular demand.
By unpopular demand.
So true. So
and
true.
it's time for the if bomb.
The infamous.
If you're ready, we will do it. Are y'all ready?
I reckon.
All right, let's
Wreck them so.
Let her rip, Tater Chip. Here she comes. Holy guacamole. If we all have telephones, right?
Yep.
Cell phones. Not many have landlines anymore, but there's this thing called speed dial. And the if bomb is, if you could have anybody in the whole wide world, living or dead, on your phone, on your top 10 speed dial numbers, and you could pick it up any given time and let your fingers do the walking. With who would you be doing the talking?
Yep. I must have a fixation on Marilyn Monroe, because I'd say, Marilyn Monroe, you're living or dead, right?
I bet you would call Sophia Loren, ask her about her armpits, too.
No, I'll get around to it.
How's it hanging?
Yeah.
But I would call Marilyn up and says, come on, what did the Kennedys do it? What happened there? They give you a Mickey or something?
I think it was a poisonous suppository. That's the only place they didn't look.
Ooh. Is that right?
Yep, that's what I've heard. That's a theory now.
Holy cow. Yeah,
Yep, that's kind of sad to think of that.
Can you imagine being an undertaker?
Well, she didn't. She was she didn't like to bathe very much, and the people I heard somebody interviewed that worked at the mortuary. She came and she was nasty.
Really?
She didn't like to?
That's why she bathed. She almost bathed in Chanel No. 5 all the time. She kept it with and just splashed on. She didn't like to bathe.
Wow.
Very unkempt. I got a book by her housekeeper.
That's very weird.
Yes, it's nasty. They brought her in and she was nasty. She stunk. Probably hadn't bathed in day. Had hairy legs too. Hadn't shaved her legs.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Y'all are shattering.
I don't mind that.
I'm trying to get Mel off this fixation.
Well,
but what I said is true.
Who is the baseball player that married her?
Where have
Joe
you gone,
DiMaggio.
DiMaggio?
Yeah. Wonder what he had to say about that. I mean, did they?
He probably
put him on speed dial.
Apparently, he must have liked the smell of Chanel No. 5.
Yeah.
All right, you pick one. Who would you call?
You know who I'd have.
Call your daddy.
Alexa. Alexa.
Alexa's
on mine. Anyhow.
Who's that?
It'd be Nikolai Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla.
Well, I couldn't think of nothing in common to talk about with him.
Well, I think I could
ask him some questions.
Ask him questions and then try to understand what he told me. You know, I mean, I would probably record it and then take it to somebody smarter than me and say, hey,
interpret this.
I asked Nikolai Tesla, and I got no idea what he was talking about.
Let's hear it in layman's terms.
Can you break this down for me?
Give me this thing about AC again, alternating current. Come on.
You don't know the difference in AC and DC?
Oh, Lord. Here we go.
It's basically exactly what it sounds like. AC is alternating. DC is direct. It's just a straight current.
Coming at you.
And it turned out that AC was the
more efficient.
The more efficient.
But it was deadly. According to
help me.
But anyhow, we're going to go on to
me.
He's going to see who he is.
I would like to maybe pick the brain of Benjamin Franklin. Because I like the stuff he wrote in that.
He was humorous.
That almanac he had.
Poor Richard.
Poor Richard's almanac. He seemed to have a wry sense of humor. He's kind of like the Will Rogers of his time. He was political, but he had this humor that he would lace.
And I have read that they didn't want him to write
the Constitution.
The Constitution, because they knew he'd throw some zingers in there.
That's right. That would be much more entertaining.
Yeah, I would rather read the Constitution and say, "Oh man, did you just catch that?" You know.
That's right. Well, he's the one that wanted the turkey for the national bird instead of the eagle, so that's probably why they threw him out of the Constitution.
Turkey,
they couldn't trust him. All right, you got another one?
Yes, sir. George Washington.
Would you ask him about that cherry tree?
No. I wanted to ask him about when they was bloodletting you. But why'd you let him do that? I mean, didn't
that was common practice.
That was state-of-the-art treatment.
I mean, but even in the Bible, the blood, the life is in the blood. Right. It makes sense. If they're going to suck it all out of you, okay, what about the life?
Well, I'll tell you what, those weren't the last leeches that ever wound up in the White House. Yeah. We've had leeches over the years.
Have you ever
sucking the life out of the country?
A barbershop?
Have I what?
Ever been to a barber shop?
Yes, sir.
You ever been to one that has a barber pole?
Yeah.
It's a red and white striped pole.
Yeah. And blue.
that was reminiscent of when they used to bloodlet
That's
at a
right.
barbershop, and they would throw the towels out to dry out on a pole.
Yeah.
And it would wrap around it, and it'd be the red and white.
Wow.
That's right. Learn something every day.
Why didn't they read the Bible?
Who knows?
Life is in the blood.
More fun playing with leeches, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I think they still actually do that. To not at barbershops.
Well, you
and
know,
not just, oh, you're sick, let me let a little blood out of it.
When you give blood, they say that's good. Giving blood, because you get to replenish it and exercise.
Some people don't believe that.
I know the doctors always told me not to do it because I used to do it religiously. No, it wasn't my religion.
He's like,
it wasn't my
Dear Heavenly Father,
Really?
I'm about to give this.
I think some religions
blood.
don't believe in
When
giving
I
blood.
see the blood.
Yeah,
When I see the blood.
well, that was a good. Okay,
You got another one? Who would you call?
I'd like to have Bob Dylan on speed dial.
You couldn't understand him either.
I know.
You
I
another
couldn't,
interpreter.
I'd have to get somebody to
lay,
say.
lady, lay.
I'd tell somebody, you know what? I asked Bob Dylan where he came up with the titles to some of his songs. From.
What do they really mean?
Yeah, what did it really mean? And he'd say, "No, well, on the man, made a be about Highway 51." And I'd say, "Okay, I understand." And then I'd have to take that to somebody else
You need another interpreter.
to interpret for me what Bob Dylan told me.
That'd be pretty funny.
Yeah,
But I mean, he would be interested to talk to, even though I couldn't understand him.
Yeah, he probably didn't know what some of his songs
I think he
meant.
does that on purpose.
Just to mess with people.
Yeah.
Probably
But I've heard
so.
him speak a little more fluent sometimes.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think it's like on the TV shows. That's when he really tries to. Well, nah, ba-doo, ba-doo.
I would talk to Captain Smith of the Titanic. What were you thinking?
Yeah.
You ignored those weather, but you knew those giant icebergs right there. You're trying to beat a world's record just to please the White Star Line.
Yeah.
And then blah, blah, blah. And this was to be your last voyage, and guess what? It was.
yeah.
And
Why
what
did
were you thinking?
And why did you stand on the deck and sing?
Dear my God, to thee.
Near my God to thee.
Well, that
Did
was
he
the band.
really?
I don't think he was singing. The band
Oh,
was
that was a movie, or did
I
he
would've
really
thought
do
he
that?
would-
They said
band.
that's true. That's the last song they played. They
Yeah.
played stuff to kind of calm people, but that's
Yeah.
the last song they played. They went down swinging.
I
Man.
would have thought they'd have played Row, Row, Row. You boat.
Take this job and shove it.
That's what he should have been singing.
Yeah.
All right, you got another one?
Yes, sir. Sophia Loren. But my question.
Meanwhile, back
to
at the
her-
armpits.
Now she's alive. No, my question to her is:
Do you still shave? Do you still not
how
shave
did
your
you
arms?
stay? Why did you marry
Armpits.
that old guy, Carlo Ponti? And how did you stay married to him for so long?
Money.
What was their secret? I mean, you're just this beautiful lady, and you married this
Well, why did Jackie Kennedy marry
Aristotle
Onassis?
Onassis.
beats. Well,
You got the money, honey.
Yeah,
I got
money,
the
yeah.
time.
There's
Yeah.
also sometimes things we don't know
and
about.
Maria
Don't
Callas,
ask.
she was out on her ear because she was
Yeah.
his girlfriend.
Hey, well,
That did her in.
it's easy to pick right there, I would say.
Yeah,
Jackie Kennedy, come on now.
yeah.
Wow. Sophia Loren, you would ask her what? Oh, why she married the old
Yeah, well,
geezer.
tell me your secret. But why'd you marry this old guy? I mean, it always amazed me. Beautiful women marrying guys who weren't
What about what's her face?
very.
Anna Nicole
good
Smith
looking.
married that old guy that looked like, so they just dug him up out of the grave. He
Yeah.
looked like Death Warren
Well, that was
Bilber.
money. That was money.
Yeah, really? You
Yeah.
reckon?
And you heard it here first.
I wonder why he died.
Oh yeah,
I don't know how he probably didn't die, but
tachycardia.
yeah, probably just thinking about it killed him.
Yeah.
Goodness, you got another one?
I think I'd want Robert E. Lee,
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Robert E.
and I
Lee.
think I'd like to ask him. I've read so much about him, and I even actually wrote a report on him one time when I was in high school. And I'd like to ask him how he really felt about slavery. Was he fighting to keep slavery? Because I've read he wasn't. He
Yeah,
entered
exactly.
the war because he was from the South and he was fighting.
It was honor
For the South.
for his,
Yeah.
his
And
state.
I'd like to ask him, what were your feelings on
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And I would ask you to ask him while you're talking to him. What do you think about them taking your?
I'd say, Mel, I'm talking.
What do you think about it? Well, ask him what do you think about them taking his statues down and his buddies down.
I would think he would say, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he would. I
mean,
don't
yeah,
think he would be.
I agree. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. They're tough luck.
Yeah.
I think my next person I would call my granny, because I wished all my life now that I'd sat down with her and wrote down some of the stuff she said and asked her more questions about our family history.
Yeah.
Sally Gertrude Garbett
Yeah.
Wilson. She died. Her husband died. She wasn't that old, but she never did remarry. She kept on raising her kids and stuff like that. But I would like to sit down with her and ask her some questions.
Yeah.
Born in 1906 and remembered way back her family history before that.
Yeah.
She had a lot of history in her. And I didn't pay attention to it till she was gone, so I'd be catching up. You got another one?
Yes, sir.
Now let's hear
Be
it.
my great granny, Elijah Briggs, and because
A woman named Elijah?
Elijah Briggs.
That was a woman? Woman's name?
Liza Briggs? Liza Briggs?
I thought you said Elijah.
No.
Eliza.
Liza Briggs.
Like Liza Jane.
Yeah.
Oh,
in fact, I think it was Liza Jane Briggs.
There you go.
But
That's where that came from.
because I know so little about her, and my mother and my grandmother talked so much about her, but they didn't really give me a whole lot of information about her background. You know, her maiden name was Siders, and other than that, I don't know nothing about her. And she was.
That's an unusual name. You might be
and
able
they
to
had
trace that.
such a great love and affection for her, but yet still, I don't know much about her.
Okay, that's a good one.
And, you know, my mom lived with them in the coal fields of West Virginia from the age of 0 to age of 10.
Yeah.
So my mother wrote a book about that era.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and her husband, Liza's husband, was a carpenter, and he repaired all of the. It was in the coal fields. He repaired all the houses where everybody lived.
Beats being in the coal mine.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, I would like to know more about her.
That's a good one. Back to you.
I would say I don't even remember his name right now 'cause I don't remember which one he was, but my great-great-great-grandfather was, we'll go back to the Civil War again, was held captive in a northern, in a Yankee prison.
POW.
And he walked home.
Really?
And I would love to talk to him about that.
What a story that would
Did
be.
he have
Home to where? How far was home?
Nocatee?
Nocatee.
From Ohio.
The real Nocatee.
I think it was in Ohio.
The real
Holy cow,
Nocatee. Walk right past that fake
And
Nocatee.
I would
come
love
back
to
the
just
real
find out
Nocatee.
what that was like,
Yeah.
you know. Not being in prison so much as the trip home.
Oh, man, that would have been a long trip.
Because I got a feeling that they banded together probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You
And then when
travel
they would
together.
fall, and they had different places they knew they could stop and get food, or, you know, people were friendly to them at the time.
All right, we out of here already. What's our frequency, Kenneth?
It's 1480 AM on your radio dial. WFLN, Arcadia's news and information station.